Math 0070, notes for parallel and perpendicular lines. In this first example, if you look at the slope of each line, what you need to do is pick 2 points, distinct points that are on the line. Draw a triangle connecting those two, a right triangle, and determine the slope. So for line A, this is a vertical distance of 1 unit and a horizontal of 3. So the slope is defined as the rise over the run, so it would be 1/3, and it would be negative. So the slope of line A is negative 1/3. And it's negative because it's going down. And line B, if you pick 2 points, and they don't have to be in the same area, but if you look at these two right here, this has the same rate of change. This is a 1, and this is 1, 2, 3. And they're both going down, so the slope of this one is also negative 1/3. So if the slope of line A is negative 1/3 and the slope of line B is negative 1/3, we say that these two lines are parallel. They will never cross. For perpendicular lines, if we look at the slope of these two, if we pick 2 points and do the rate of change for this line, line D, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. So the slope of this is 4, and because it's going down, it's negative 4. And this other line, if we pick 2 points on this line, the slope of this, line C, is negative 1/4. It's a 1 over 4. So for line C has a slope of negative 1/4, and line D has a slope of 4. And I'm sorry, slope of line C is positive 1/4. Slope of line D is negative 4. So these two slopes are opposite reciprocals. So if they're opposite reciprocals, or if their product multiplies to be negative 1, so we have 1/4 times negative 4. If their products, the products of their slope multiply to be negative 1, we say that the two lines are perpendicular. They intersect at 4 right angles, 4 90-degree angles. So they're perpendicular. So now we're going to do some examples. If you were asked to find the slope, let's just review. How do you find the slope of this line? It's in standard form. To find the slope of this line, what you're going to do is solve this equation for y. So first subtract 4x. And then divide everything by negative 3. So y is 4/3 x minus 4. So if you were asked, what is the slope of this line? The slope is 4/3. Now why do we need that? Because you will be asked, what is the equation of a line that's parallel to this? So if it's parallel to that, it's going to have the same slope. And if it's perpendicular, you have to flip and change the sign. So the slope would be negative 3/4. So parallel lines have the same slope, perpendicular have opposite reciprocal. So how do you find the slope of a line that's perpendicular to this line, these two lines right here? So step 1 is you have to rewrite the problem to solve, to find the slope. So let's do step one. So first, to get this in slope-intercept form, we're gonna take this negative 1/2 x and bring it to the other side. It is going to become positive 1/2 x. And then we don't want this negative here, so we're gonna divide everything by -1, or change all the signs. So y is equal to negative 1/2 x minus 20. So after you find out what the slope is, so the slope of this line is negative 1/2, to find the slope of a line that's perpendicular to this line, what you do is you flip or find the reciprocal, and change the sign. So, the slope of the line that's perpendicular to this, if you flip it, you get 2, and since this is negative, it will be positive. So perpendicular slope would be 2. Next, we're gonna do the same thing, find the slope of a line that's perpendicular to this. So we're gonna move this 3x to the other side. Just change the sign of it. This goes to the other side, change the sign. Divide everything by 12. So y is equal to, now you can reduce negative 3/12 to negative 1/4. So the slope of this line is negative 1/4. So for a line to be perpendicular to this, you would flip 1/4, you get 4, and change the sign. So the slope would be positive 4. Okay, next, how do you write an equation of a line in point-slope form and then eventually turn it into slope-intercept form for a line containing, it passes through this point and it has to be parallel to these following lines. So let's do the first one. First step is you have to find the slope of the line. And how we do that is we get it in slope-intercept form. So divide both sides by 3, so y is equal to 2/3 x. And you don't need that y-intercept of 0, but you can write it there. So what you're going to do is determine what the slope is. The slope is 2/3. You're gonna plug this slope into the point slope formula. You're gonna plug the same slope and the point that they give you into point slope form. I'll just write PS form. Okay, so you need to know point slope form. It's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So the slope you're going to use is 2/3, and you're passing through the ordered pair 2, 3. So it contains 2, 3. So 3 is your y value. There's your y value. And your x values, it's x minus 2. Whoops, x minus 2. So that is your point slope form. So I'm going to ask you to do solve for slope intercept form as well. So this will give you the answer. After you find the slope, you plug the slope and that point into point slope form. I did it all in 2. But you also are responsible for taking this one step further and rewriting this in slope intercept form. So how we write that in slope intercept form is we have to get y by itself. So what you could do is multiply all the terms by 3. So 3 times y minus 3 times 3 equals 2/3 times 3 and then we have x minus 2. So what you're doing is you're multiplying everything by 3 to get rid of this denominator. 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. You don't have to multiply it in here, just 1, 2, 3 spots. So you end up getting 3y minus 9 equals, these 3's cancel, so you have 2 times x minus 2. Now you're going to distribute this 2, you get 2x minus 4. And now we're going to solve this, get y by itself. So we need to add 9. So 3y is equal to 2x plus 5, and now divide everything by 3. So you will notice that this is the equation of our line. It passes through 2, 3, and it has the same slope. It's parallel to that original line. So that's the answer. So number 5, we're going to do it the same way. Step 1 is we have to find the slope of this line. Now this one has y on the other side, which is fine. You can rewrite this as 7y plus 2 is equal to 3x. Just twisting it around. So now what I would do is subtract 2 and divide everything by 7. Why we're doing this is because we need the slope. And since we're writing, we really don't care about the y-intercept, but we need this magic number, the 3/7. So we're going to plug 3/7, because we're looking for parallel, into point slope form. Here's your point slope form. So this slope, because it's parallel, we want it to be the same, goes right in this spot, and we're still using that 2, 3. So y minus, the y value is 3, 3/7 times x minus 2. Now this is the answer for the directions that are in this problem. That would be the answer to the slope, the equation of the line in point slope form. It's parallel to that, containing these the point 2, 3. But if we were to take this one step further and write it in slope intercept form, what you would have to do is you want to get rid of the 7. So you're going to multiply this by 7, this by 7, and this by 7. So 7 times y minus 7 times 3 equals 7 times 3/7 times the x minus 2. So you get 7y minus 21 equals 3 times x minus 2. And 3 times x minus 2 is 3x minus 6. Okay, now we're going to get rid of this 21, negative 21, so we're going to add 21. And we get 7y is equal to 3x plus 15. My math is right, 15. And we're going to divide everything by 7 now. So y is equal to 3/7 x plus 15/7. That's the equation in slope-intercept form. Last problem, you need to find the equation. They're asking for it in slope-intercept form. It contains this point, and I want it perpendicular to this line. So step 1 is we need to find the slope. What is the slope of this line? Well, off to the side here, we have 5x plus 2y equals 10. So if we bring this across, we get negative 5x plus 10, divide by 2. And I really don't need the y-intercept, but we'll just finish it off. The slope of this line is negative 5 over 2. But according to our problem, we want it to be perpendicular. So we're going to flip and change the slope. What do we want the slope to be? we want it to be, we're gonna flip it and change the sign. So instead of negative, it's gonna be positive. So the perpendicular slope I need is 2/5, positive. So now you're gonna plug that slope and that point. The point is 3, -5, into point slope form. Okay, so let's do that. So we have y minus y1. This is your point slope. So we have -5 goes in for y1. So it's a -5. Our slope is 2/5, and our x value is 3. So that 3 goes here, x minus 3. Okay, now we could clean this up a bit. These two negatives in a row turn positive. Okay, now that would be our answer if we were to write it in point slope form. But the directions say write the equation in slope intercept form. So what we have to do is what we did on the problems above. We've got to get this in slope intercept form, so which means we want to multiply. So your step 4 is rewrite however you have to in slope intercept form. And how we are going to do this one in slope intercept form, I'm going to multiply everything by 5. 5, 5, 5. So 5y plus 25 times 5 is 25. Then the 2 gets multiplied by x minus 3, which is 2x minus 6. Now we're going to subtract 25. So 5y is equal to 2x minus 31. And then if you divide everything by 5, because you want y by itself, divide this by 5, divide this by 5, and divide this by 5. You get y equals 2/5 x minus 31/5. That is the answer in slope intercept form. This is point slope form. This is slope intercept form.